Right, the Grove at page 140. I'll be okay, Dad. See you over there, Claire voiced before riding to her position. She was excited to help her father with crossing the cattle, which was a huge responsibility for a 9-year-old, especially a girl. Riding at the rear of the mob, Harry saw everything as it unfolded or about to happen. The leaders led the mob to the edge of the water. Greg on the left wing pushed the slower ones into the water, whilst Claire did the same on her wing. Everything was going fine. The leaders began to swim and others followed. Overnight, the water slowed, and Harry was thankful he'd put off crossing the cattle until the next day instead of late the afternoon before. It was a shame Harry didn't have a photograph to record the crossing. It would have made a delightful picture to show his grandchildren later in life, when he, as his nephew, with his own daughter, one aged 12 and the other 9, crossed 500 bullocks with 10 horses across the flooded Diamantina River. He felt proud of these two youngsters who played their roles as if they were born to be drovers. Harry noticed the leader's final ascent to the other side. The others followed. Greg and Claire were now safely across the other side, pushing the cattle up over the bank of the river to the open plain ahead. All had gone well, better than expected. He sat atop of Falcon with a sigh of relief. A good job well done, ran through his thoughts. Confidently, he swam Falcon across the flooded river and couldn't wipe the smile from his face when they landed on the other side. All had gone to plan. For the remainder of the day, the cattle fed on the lush grasses near to the river, drank their fill, and camped on the open plain. After lunch, Harry moved the stock another 10 miles and set up camp for the night. Whilst Greg and Hector rode around the cattle at dusk, Harry enjoyed a wonderful meal cooked by Rose. What would have he done without his soulmate, he didn't know. I'll relieve Greg and Hector if you want, Dad, Claire asked the father after he'd finished his meal and rolled the smoke. All right, I'll join you shortly. Tell them to come in for their supper. Harry felt bodily tired, but he didn't feel mind tired. He needed to keep alert. How could he rest when he had 3 youngsters working harder than the whole 6 men who'd left? His pride wouldn't let him be tired, and he needed to keep going at whatever cost. Shortly after daybreak, he saw a plum of dust on the horizon, and after focusing his eyes, saw a motor vehicle heading towards him. It was a police vehicle. What the hell do they want, he thought. The vehicle pulled up at the camp and a police officer in uniform stepped from the vehicle. G'day, I'm Eric Salmon from Birdsville. He walked over to Harry and they shook hands. I'm Harry Williams and this is my wife Rose, Harry replied to the officer. Pleased to meet you, Mrs. He tilted his head towards Rose. What can I do for you, officer? Harry asked. He wasn't intimidated by the police officer, but didn't have much to do with the law, only the time he went for his driver's license and a couple of other times. He was a law-abiding citizen. Can I have a look at your stock? Where did you come from and where are you going? The officer inquired. Whenever a police officer asked a question, it always had a sense of authority in the question. Was it the way the police officer asked the question, or was it something to fear? Harry wondered. We've been on the road for 10 months. I've got 500 bullocks from Buller Downs in southwest Queensland and taken them to Clifton Hills in South Australia, Harry answered with honesty and integrity.